Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's the Superpower Man of the Hour back in action. So good to see you. Welcome back to the Verdicts. You see it. You already, yeah, what's up? And I am not alone today. That's right. I told y'all that from time to time I'd be bringing in a special guest. I'd be bringing in some people to party with me for a little bit. And this is the very first guest of the show. And I couldn't have asked for a better first guest. This man literally helped me get this thing off the ground, just the idea of it and actually, carrying it out and being like, you know what, I'm just going to do this thing because, he's done it. And I have so much respect and love for this man, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome into the courtroom for the very first time and not the last, the one and only AJ Danger Hamilton. Thank you for coming. Welcome
Oh
to the
my
show.
goodness. Oh my goodness. I am blushing. Thank you so much, Judge. Thank you for inviting me on the verdict. This is fantastic. I love
I'm
I
so
love
excited.
being here.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Love
am so
being in the
excited.
courtroom here.
I love what you've done with the place. Honestly, I really, really do. It's quite awesome.
I painted all of these paintings in the background. Every
That's
single
art
one
that you
of
got
them.
to sell. Yeah,
That's right.
that's magic right there. That's awesome. Well, dude, thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, this dude is so freaking cool. I met him at the Young Actors Theater Camp, which I talk an insane amount about, and I'll never stop talking about them. Such a cool place. But that's where I met him. He's the technical director there. He's a voiceover god. The dude is just, he does everything very cool under the sun. So you will definitely come to enjoy him as much as I have come to love and appreciate this man for everything that he's done. He's a nerd like me. I don't know if you can tell.
Absolutely.
Um, you know, uh,
Representing.
against my better judgment, I put on a Captain America shirt today because I knew it was an AJ episode. I know he loves Cap, even though when it comes to Civil War, we're on different sides. But we don't even have to get into that today. We might, but I'll leave it alone for the time
You're
being
you
because
I can see you being a billionaire playboy philanthropist.
I don't know about
That's
the
that
Playboy part. I could definitely,
may,
yeah, sure, I
yeah.
could pull it off.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Even if it's just for the show.
Absolutely, 1000%. You do what you got to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Dude, how have you been? It's been about what is this? This is October, so I saw you at the end of July. So it's been about 3 months, 2.5, 3 months since I last saw you. What you been up to? How are
Yeah,
things?
man. I've been doing a lot of different things, working on podcasts, working on other projects, editing. I'm a jack of all trades, as they say, you know what I mean? And so, doing I'm editing the Young Actors Theater Camp videos that we or the short films that we shot during the summer, me and Maxime. And yeah, we're it's been quite an interesting, it's been hot, man. Well, here and there,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
I did not expect. I'm in Northern California now. I
Right.
was in Southern California, and I thought I escaped it, but no. It's like there's been a couple of 100-degree, even in October, it's heating up. I don't understand. Second summer, right? It's
It's so
crazy.
weird. It's insane. I don't under like literally Monday in Hayward, it was like a cool 65, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. The sun was still out, but there were clouds and there was a little bit of a breeze. I was like, yes, this is what fall is here. It's awesome.
Right?
And then Tuesday hits, Wednesday hits, and it's like it's 85 degrees outside. And I was like, what is this?
For
What's going
real.
on?
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
like the falling leaves are bursting into flames, right? It's
Makes no
ridiculous.
sense. It's insane. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, okay, so it got a little bit hot on Tuesday, but I was like, surely it's not gonna get hotter than this. So, my go lucky self, I put on, pants and a long sleeve yesterday, and I'm like, holy hum. And someone told me, it was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, dog, it's supposed to be like 80 degrees today. Why are you wearing you? And I was like, it's what? No, but it's fall. It's October. Summer's gone. What do you mean 85? No. So yeah, I
The
had to,
Weather Channel lied to me.
yeah, no, for sure. Like literally. So I suffered the consequences for that. But I feel you, man. Weather's crazy, dude. It's honestly, I'm actually working on a little sketch in in one of my theater classes, and it takes place in an airport that's snowed in Texas, and I'm playing this like satirical Ukrainian Russian what's that dude, dictator, right? That's the
Dictate.
word.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and he's like, one of the lines I have was like, it's not supposed to do this here, what's going on? And I was like, Well, it's also not supposed to be this ridiculously hot outside, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. So I just think
No.
what it's so weather. I think this is the most bipolar weather I've experienced in my lifetime, probably.
And probably not the most in your lifetime, though. We'll see. Who knows what climate is going to do? Probably heal itself. Probably get better, right? I'm
I would
sure.
hope.
Oh
I would
yeah,
hope. That'd be a great
yeah.
plan.
That'd be super nice. We
For
need Captain
sure.
Planet. We
Lucky.
need wind, water, earth, fire, and heart, and all to come together. And then look that up. Don Cheadle. No, not
Uh,
just him, but
no, Captain Planet, man. I saw remnants of it,
mhm,
but all every time I was actually listening to another podcast. And they were talking about it, and they
yeah.
were talking about which one would you want, and someone said heart, and
Mhm.
everyone trounced on it. Was like, why would you want heart of all of them? But it kind of made sense. I was like, heart's not bad, but I don't know
No,
if it would be my go-to.
and he gets to kick it with with a little monkey on his
Right?
shoulder. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think
don't
that'd
know.
be yeah, that'd be oh man, Captain Planet reboot now.
I,
My
I
goodness.
think water would be pretty cool because I never really learned how to surf because I didn't have that great a balance. But if you could control water, I don't know if they could control water, right? Yeah. Then you could like ride along and like actually make it through. Don't you wouldn't uh, wipe out as they say as much. That'd be kind of fun.
Exactly. No, for
Make
sure.
make friends with dolphins.
That's the life right there. That is the
Yeah.
SoCal life. Dude, it's so I think back on it's 2022 now. We met in the summer of
Mhm.
2018. It's been 4 years, dude. And I think it's
Wow.
so cool. I know, right? I think it's so cool to just like think about like, when I was going into high school when you met me, and then now here I
Yeah.
am, college bound, or I'm already here now, I guess. So I'm college, in college, doing my thing. And it's weird, but I'm just like I think about like as I was getting ready today and I was thinking about the podcast and things we could talk about. I was just like, man, you watched some crazy but incredible years of my life, right? 2018 to 2022, special,
You
just
know,
special.
I will say this, and I'm gonna embarrass you a little bit. I mean, you are a I mean, it's not necessarily embarrassing to be talented, but you had some of the most eye-catching and like engaging performances at YTC. Honestly, like you know, so up until recently, yeah, you can blush, it's fine.
It's just,
Up until recently I haven't really been like a teacher, so like I'm in the background. I'm doing tech. I don't necessarily get to see every performance, but I get to see a lot of performances, because I'm always there. I'm always watching. And so I don't know, man. Like there's just something about you got that it factor, yo. I mean, you got the I mean, you look awesome by the way in front of that verdict sign. It's just
thank
perfect,
you.
like the lighting and everything. It's just bam. That's the poster, man. That's
Appreciate it.
yeah, no, I mean honestly, like you put heart into it. You put this isn't an advertisement, this isn't like promoting you or anything, but like honestly, you're a human actor. You really like get down to the bones of it. And also your songs, your musical numbers were always a treat, honestly. Like that's I mean that got you know how to start a party. I'm just
I
saying.
thank you. I appreciate it, and it's
Absolutely,
like
man.
thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's tough. Taking
No, you weren't
compliments is
asking
tough.
for that. I
I
I know
I
you weren't asking for that.
Not at
But
all. No, please stop. Please seriously no. I know it's tough. It's always complicated. I've been telling people compliments. They don't suit me. I enjoy it. I am a performer and I'm an entertainer, so yes, I do enjoy some attention. But it's just the I'm gonna hype you up and I'm gonna gaslight you and I'm gonna do all this and you're so great. It's it's uncomfortable to a certain extent because I want to like you say thank you, but then how smug is that? Thank you. I know. Yes, thank you very much. It's just what happens in my mind. And then when I get the compliments, I'm like, okay, now I got to work this much harder to actually be worthy of the things that are
Live
being
up
said
to it,
about me.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
But
absolutely.
I appreciate it, dude, because
Of course, man.
I especially like towards like like I'd say about year 2 to year 3, I sort of like leaned into going to you about certain because like for a time I was still very foreign, very new to the attic, and I was still trying to find my way. And I was like, I was just doing things that I think would be relatable or would get people bumping, and just it's just a good time, just good vibes all around. But then after a while, I was like, all right, now I can sort of like sink my teeth in. But what does AJ think? I was like, what does AJ think? Like, how is this gonna go over for AJ? I could honestly, I don't care if I kill a set or if my song choice was golden and I hit every note to a perfection. It doesn't. If AJ doesn't like it, it wasn't good. Okay, that was the
I tell you, yeah, I really I know that the last year's monologue, this summer's monologue was very personal to you, but I gotta
yeah.
say, I mean, and you killed it in that one. But I gotta
Thank you.
say, was it last summer or was it still this? No, I think it's last summer where you did the Falcon and Winter Soldier
That was
speech.
2021. Yeah, yeah,
Man, I mean, that I will let people in on what happened. I started hearing it, and I'd seen it obviously.
yeah.
I recognized it, and I ran down with my shield. I don't know if it's gonna show through because I
I
have
see
a
some.
fake background. That's not.
There it is.
There it
Boom.
is.
That was
Perfect.
it.
And
Yeah,
the end of that, I ran down because I knew the man needed a shield.
I
Gosh
love
darn
that.
it.
I love that to top. I love that
Oh.
T'Challa impulse. I love it. I love it.
Shield.
Get this man a
Oh
shield.
man. That no, and you, I mean, again, like I said, the humanity that you bring to it, the you understand the emotions, not just, a lot of people I've seen. I used to judge a um, theater festival down in Fremont, Ohlone
Yeah.
Theater Festival. I think they stopped it, sadly, but I once saw a guy do the Joker monologue.
Oh.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Uh, it's one thing to say the words with a funny voice. It's
Yeah.
another thing to really understand the words and really understand the emotion behind it. So I know we're not necessarily here for acting advice. I guess we're here for anything and everything, aren't we?
We can do it all.
But honestly, it's yeah, you got that, man. You're finding it, honestly. Like and that's what everybody should strive for in this. Is not it's I think that a lot of people get into theater or try to get into movies and stuff like that
Hmm.
because they've seen people and they think that, oh, that looks easy. That's just living on screen. Well, it is and it isn't, because you've got to like study it, understand it and everything, and then throw it away. It's not just getting up there and being like, Bella, you have to choose me or Edward. Just kidding. Uh, but I mean, he's better now. No, wait, that would be Lautner.
That was
Well,
one.
everybody's fine. Everybody's
Yeah.
better outside of those movies.
Yeah. 1000%. Edwards become Vengeance. Lautner was Shark Boy at one point.
Yeah, there you go.
It's things evolution.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Oh
for sure.
man. Yeah, but like, what was I'll ask you, what was your favorite part of theater camp?
Man, I mean, it's tough. I like now that I'm now that I'm behind it all, and it's sort of like I, now that I can sort of like talk like a retired superstar from a sport that has
Yeah.
done it all. Like no, but now that I'm not necessarily camper certified anymore, and I've sort of moved on, as far as my journey with Yaddick. I think looking back on it, it's hard to pinpoint, a specific moment in time
Mhm.
where I was just like, dude, this was awesome. Because each summer, each session brought about something new and brought about something special. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, my first session will always be special is because that's where I sort of laid the groundwork and the foundation of knowing the people that I know and building the relationships that I have now. Like if that first session doesn't happen, this episode of The Verdict does not happen, dude.
That's fair, that's fair. Yeah.
And I think it's that one for me, and yes, the performance aspect of it and the learning and the critique. But just, dude, I met so many cool people, from you to Sean to the markers, both of them,
Mhm.
to just being able to do stuff like that. And even like sort of those slept on, underrated moments where I wasn't
Mhm.
necessarily attending a session. Like, I remember fondly coming to summer of 2019, and I didn't actually go to that summer, but I showed up for one day, and it just happened to be the one day that you guys were getting ready to talk to James Monroe Iglehart, who is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he is
Oh,
everything to me. Like, literally, I tell people all the time, I'm like, the dude is literally me when I get older. He's on Broadway. He's a
yeah.
nerd. He loves Marvel. He's into all of it. He's such a goofball. He's black. Like, he's all of these things. Like, he is literally like, if you need a reference as to where I'm going in the future, watch that
Mhm.
man. 1000%.
Absolutely.
Because he's just everything that people sort of associate with me, as far as just
Mhm.
being enigmatic and having the sort of the eye catching, the pop, and that's exactly what he did for me. And I'm just like, yeah, man, you're the for sure. So that first session, and to
Mm.
just be able to do stuff like that. And then to your point, the summer of 2021 was special for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
We were able to come back after such a weird time in life and in society and in
Yeah.
culture and in everything. And then this past summer, to wrap it all up and tie it with a bow, doing conservatory for
Yeah.
the first and only time, which was really awesome. I thought it was great. So I never really look at and I didn't even talk about all the stuff as far as SNL,
Oh my
but
god,
that's
yeah.
and so I'm just like, there's never one moment that I look at and I'm just like, man, that'll be what defines Yaddick for me, and I think that's
It
great.
Yeah, it's almost like Yaddick. I mean, I've been at Yaddick just slightly longer than you. I don't know if you can tell by the beard. But I started years ago, and uh, after a while, it sort of not in a bad way, but it all blends together. And it's kind of like looking at a mural. You can look at certain parts of a mural and say, I really like, what these two people are doing down here, or this aspect of it. But it really is to look at it from a distance. You can appreciate all aspects of it, because it really all is one experience.
A thousand
Even if
percent.
it's separated by the year, separated by 6 months, whatever it is, you're adding to that experience constantly, day to day, hour to hour. And it really ties all together, making it, like you say, very difficult to say, point out that one moment that was like, that's my favorite. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's crazy, man. I'm so grateful. And I don't even I think this is how it went, and
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory, ever since being in college, I days blend together. I don't know what's what anymore. It's actually very surprising that I can memorize lines for a show, even at this point in my career. But I think when we first met, right?
Mhm.
Like, obviously you did the whole orientation intro, and that was general, cool, great.
Of course, yeah.
But I was never sure as to, like, you know where I was gonna fit, where I was gonna blend in, who this, who that,
Mhm.
and things of that nature. And I just remember, I had brought, one of my favorite things to do is to
Mhm.
pack for camp, because I'm just like, this shirt's gonna go, that shirt's gonna make sense, that one's gonna get a
Mhm.
big reaction. What socks make sense with this outfit? I'm not sure. It's I love it,
Oh yeah.
and it really kicked off because of that first session where I think I was wearing my American flag Batman shirt, which rest in peace to that shirt, because I don't know where it went.
Oh.
But but it was that shirt, and you were like, dude, sick shirt. And I was like, appreciate it, because it was just it was so simple, yet it was just a very, like, it was a moment that I needed to sort of in my brain to be like, all right, I'll be okay here. Like I'll, like I'll be all right here. Because I don't think at that point yet that I had really fully come into my own. I had 10 days, and I don't know. At that point, I still was just sort of like, I'm testing the waters. Let's see what happens. What's gonna go down, what happens, and then you give me that very, very, very much needed compliment and vindication, and I'm like, yes, awesome. And I also think like at the time, San Diego Comic Con was still very like very big, and there were a bunch of trailers coming out
Mhm.
daily, and I was missing the bunch, and I was like, oh snap. And you, Luke, you two, like you the ones that I was like, yo, a trailer dropped, I think. Can we watch it? And you
Can
were
we
like, sure. Yeah. You're like, can we watch it? And I was like, yeah, sure.
contraband? Contraband.
Yeah.
Can't look at the
Absolutely.
phones.
Absolutely.
um I will say that to your point, being in a new place is always, nerve wracking. I think for most people, some people can just jump in and be like, "You're my new best friend. That's crazy."
Right.
Um, Not an impression of a specific person, but I I think what is a blessing from the last decade or so, maybe 15 years, is the advent of Marvel, and and the DC movies as well. But I think Marvel really kicked off the ability for people to wear their freak flag on their shoulder, on their sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
literally. You know what I mean? Like uh, nerd shirts. And I will say that I have a problem because I just opened a box from when I moved, and I still had not. I was like, "Oh my god, this is absolute!" I think it was filled with 30 like image like Marvel and DC and all these
Sick.
shirts, and I was like, "Why haven't I been wearing these?" Oh, it's because I have another 30.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that it's great to be able to point out your crowd, find your tribe, as it were, to say like that's a person that I know, probably at least uh, from wherever we come from, class, any different location in the world, we can all say, hey, maybe we could be friends. Maybe
Yeah.
we have these commonalities where we could talk about things and have wonderful discussions, no matter what. So
I
yeah,
adore it.
absolutely. I saw that and I was like, this kid gets it. This kid's the cool
Yeah.
kid.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm at that stage now, just to be like, yeah, you understand. I always tell people, I like whether it's Marvel, DC, or not even just like if it's a great shirt, I'm such an appreciative person, a appreciator of great shirts and graphic tees and content like that I'm just like, yes, absolutely. I love it all, and
I
I have to go out my way to just shout those people out.
Oh, absolutely. I got to tell you this funny quick story. One time I was walking Runyon Canyon in LA, and this guy had, I don't know, everybody's probably seen that Fight Club shirt. It's the Fight Club logo with the soap on it, and it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's the same gray that you're wearing, Um, and I was walking along, and the guy was wearing the shirt, and I point at it, and I'm like, "Hey!" And then I point at my shirt, thinking that I was wearing that shirt. I was not wearing that shirt. So a guy was just like, this man is pointing at me and then pointing at himself, as if we have something in common. Or, hey, look, we're both wearing shirts.
Right.
And I was so, I was like, right, that's in my closet.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I was like, nope, nope, that's I don't know, Rick and Morty or something, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Nope.
Oops.
Just nah. Just kidding. Haha. Just kidding.
Bye bye. I hope I never see you again. This is so awkward.
Oh man, yeah, dude. I love it all. I think it's really cool. So I get, you know what? I think we just gotta jump right in. Where
Okay.
are you as far as Marvel TV show timelines? Have you picked up on She Hulk? What where do you stand? What's your status?
Yes, I am uh not for anything uh, uh, against the show because I watched the first episode that but I skipped over Miss Marvel. Um
Mm,
I watched the first episode. I really enjoyed it. It felt slightly young, skewed young it felt more like a Disney Channel show than a Marvel show to me. And
sure.
then stuff came up, and I just didn't go back to it. Um, I intend to go back to it, but yes, I am caught up on She Hulk. Um, I I don't know. I really liked it.
Did
I
you?
What did you think?
I didn't hate it. You know,
Okay, yeah.
I'm not in the. I know there are a bunch of people who are like, what the heck? What is this? Right?
Well, well,
I
they are
had those
exemplified
episodes.
by those guys at the end, you know, by
Yeah.
the intelligentsia. Um, no, I listen. I will say that there's a lot of different things that are going to be going on probably in the next 10 years of Marvel that are going to be hit and miss. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I did you see Werewolf by Night?
I have not watched it yet. I'm very excited to watch it, but how was it? Did you watch it?
Super cool, super interesting. I think the biggest complaint that a lot of people were saying is like, there's not enough character development. I'm like, it's a 50-minute special event.
Special.
Like, it's like it's like uh, a sort of a I don't know. It's kind of like a a single shot comic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Not for sure.
it's kind of like, oh, this doesn't need any setup. It's nobody that we know, and yet I'm just going to experience what's on the screen, take things as read. You know, it's fun. Honestly, I would suggest it for a fun Halloween experience. But I think to that point, it's like they're going to try a bunch of shit. You know, they're going to try. Um, the biggest departure I think from Marvel was Winter Soldier. I would
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
feeling. I mean, there were superpowers, but there was like it was a spy movie. You
Hmm.
know, it was almost strictly a spy movie, which was awesome. And then you kind of look at Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp and Endgame as sort of like a little bit of a heist thing. Still has the Marvel, the suits with the coming over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think those have been the attempts to like, and then of course Thor is like Shakespeare on screen, with
Absolutely.
superpowers. But I think that the like having like a half-hour comedy show with She-Hulk really I really like broke the mold. And I think that they're trying to find different things that are for different people. And I don't think that's a big problem. It's not going to be for everyone, and also not every CGI scene is going to hit. You know,
That is
good
factual. You
lord.
ain't said nothing but truth. Yeah, dude. I didn't hate it, but I definitely I felt the difference, and I felt it sort of being like, oh, okay. There were some episodes were better than others.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
wholeheartedly, but you know, I definitely enjoyed what they were trying to do. I enjoyed, you know, I've always been someone that's like, no, we can't, you know, constantly stick to one formula and be so one
Right.
dimensional. You know what I mean? And I think that's always
Mhm.
been one of Marvel's things that they've sort of tried to get away from because Marvel, I think a lot of people, when they talk about Marvel and one of their vices, it's always one of the things where it's like, I'm going to steal your powers or your suit and do the exact same thing and we're
Right.
going to fight about it. Right. And while that's cool and it's
Mhm.
great for origin stories and things like that, and it's awesome,
Of
but
course.
I definitely think that, with the litany of stories that you have and the characters that you can introduce, it's always going to be a gamble to sort of take a risk in that regard. So, you
Mhm.
sort of play the safe route because, this is what people know and, what people can sort of buy into.
Mhm.
But I've always, appreciated Marvel for, trying to swing for the fence, because, everything is going to be different for sure.
Well, and you look, I mean, there's so many different yeah, she comments on that trope of like powers, duplicate powers and stuff like that. And yet one of the greatest villains was Killmonger, who
Absolutely.
essentially had the same powers. Now I'll say their CGI fight on the train was the weakest part when they both
Hmm.
had those powers. But I loved the ideology. I thought that
Yeah.
the ideology was where Marvel excels. I think that they have a great handle on not necessarily bringing it into gritty realism of our world, but I think that they try to have opposing viewpoints in not all of them, but some movies, and I think I really appreciate that when you look at another one of the greatest bad guys, Thanos,
Hmm.
where you're like, oh, he's not just. I mean, they dropped the ball a little bit in Endgame where he was just like, I'm just a guy who's angry. We had sort of forgotten the idea that he was trying to do it uh,
Right.
for the betterment of the universe and whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, it's I think that the the more psychological stuff is very interesting. Um, I don't necessarily think that they hit it in She-Hulk, but
Hmm.
it was interesting. It was kind of passive, but it was more thought provoking.
Yeah.
In a lot of like that was more real life. That was more dealing with our current times and the
Hmm.
struggles of women and different things like that. I don't know. This I I'm excited to see more of I love Tatiana Maslany. Orphan Black is fantastic. If you haven't checked it
Yeah.
out, terrific actress. But yeah.
For sure. I did enjoy her performance. I
Yeah.
We're gonna talk some more, but I'm
Yes.
broke and I don't have an actual pro plan on Zoom, so this meeting is gonna end in a few minutes. But stick
I thought
around,
we were
people, because it's
taking
not
a
over.
I thought we were taking a commercial break.
I mean, we kind of are,
All
but
right.
not really. But
That's
anyway, we'll
fine.
be right back. It'll almost be like we never left because my editing skills are gonna make it so that this is just one continuous shot. Isn't that right?
Ciao. Bring.
There it is. See y'all in a sec. Anyway, as we were saying before we were so rudely interrupted, thanks, Zoom. No, I just think there's a lot of, yeah, I think to your point, shows like that are really interesting as far as like driving a message, and even Black Panther, which we definitely got to talk some Wakanda Forever before that
Oh,
comes out. Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, I just think that Marvel has always been good about, and it's so crazy, dude. I uh, I gave a presentation in
Hmm.
college just recently. I think like at the beginning of this month. It was a informative speech that I had to be sort of an expert about the topic I was presenting, and I was like, say no more. And so I talked about Marvel, and it was like a really sort of rapid fire. What's that thing that John Green has on YouTube? What's it called? Shoot. Um, Man,
Mm.
anyway, it was
Yeah, yeah.
Crash Course. That's what
Oh,
it is.
Crash Course. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It was a crash
Totally.
course on the MCU, and it was so cool. And I made a presentation for it, and I'm really proud of that presentation. It was so awesome, so many like cool transitions and everything like that. But I basically just talked about like one of the points I hit was that Marvel has always been about advancing the culture,
Hmm.
and I think it's so important that sometimes when they do try and advance the culture, sometimes it's not always going to hit. But I think
Yeah.
the cool thing about Marvel is that they're not willing to roll the dice on it, and they're not willing to sort of show Hollywood that these stories are important enough for people to engage in them,
Yeah.
and get involved and relate, and because they did it with Shang-Chi, Black Widow, Captain
Yeah.
Marvel, Black Panther, and I'd even throw Eternals in that bunch too, because that cast was so diverse in multiple ways.
Yeah.
So I've
Well,
always respected Marvel for that.
absolutely. I think there's a new um whenever you praise Hollywood, you gotta do it with a pinch of salt, because they're doing it for money. They're doing
Yeah.
it to expand uh their fan base, but it's them realizing that those other fan bases are out there.
Mhm.
Ike Perlmutter, one of the guys who was in charge of Disney, I or Marvel, I think Disney, was the guy who was like, a female-led superhero movie will never sell, and he's gone now. But
Yeah.
I'm glad he's gone, because it really does take people to take that chance, or to have the rather than take the chance, have the faith
Yeah.
in expanding that universe, and expanding um, the uh, the groups that they want to bring into the fold. Because I think that's a fantastic. I feel bad for Black Widow being the first thing back out, right,
Yeah.
still kind of during COVID. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so, um, and also, I mean, to an extent, Eternals.
Yeah.
Eternals didn't go over great. Um, but Yeah, no, I think that there's a lot. You know what they did have? Speaking of Shang-Chi, they had a showing of it in, where was it? Mission Bay. It was in San Francisco. It was like outside. It was a big, huge. They have a blow up projection screen and everything like that. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
massive. It was really cool experience.
Sweet.
Yeah, dude, it's fun as heck. But yeah, no, it's what was my point? I don't know. You say something instead.
Not well. Shoot, man. I Wakanda Forever. I
Yeah. Oh my
dude.
God.
I don't know if you've seen any of the trailer. I know they dropped two.
Hmm.
I watched them both.
Oh yeah.
I guess I
Multiple
I loved
times.
it multiple times. You already know. I really enjoyed the teaser trailer more so than the
Okay.
official trailer a little bit.
Hmm.
And maybe and for if no other reason other than the way they blended Thames song with Kendrick's song
Yeah.
during that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool.
Hmm.
But I mean, also, the official trailer had a really cool, soundbite and sound mix for that
Hmm.
one as well. And I think that's always just been, a Black Panther thing because even the
Hmm.
the first Black Panther movie had a sick trailer.
The trailer with the Run the Jewels song,
Yeah,
dude. I'm a fan of them because of that trailer. I was like googling who did that one, because it was interesting. They didn't put it in the movie,
no, they
which I
didn't.
thought was very restrained. I thought that was cool that they didn't just throw in a bunch of hip hop, or rap or something like that. I think it was incredibly. The first movie is fantastic. The first trailer, No Woman No Cry,
Yes.
was getting me. Oh my God, I was so sad. I think this is going to be such an interesting movie, because it's a sequel where they are not continuing the story of the main character. Like, his spirit will be there,
Hmm.
obviously, but and I think that it's so interesting that the essentially the main character is going to be Wakanda.
Yeah.
And I love that, because I don't think we got to look in anywhere near enough of the interactions of the tribes, or the technology within the culture, and how and this time we'll see how opening it up to the world will have affected it. And also, real excited for Ironheart.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm glad you said something, dude.
so
I'm
much.
excited. I told my mom when I showed her the trailer or the official teaser trailer because when the official trailer came out, I was in college by that point. But
Yeah.
I called her one time, or she called me, and I was like, "Did you watch the Black Panther trailer?" And she was like, "I did." And I was like, "Oh wow, I'm really proud of you." And she was like, "Well, no, it was on TV. I didn't go out of my way and bring it up on YouTube." And I was like, "Oh well, I mean,
I'm not from your
it,
generation.
yeah, right. But I mean, because that's the thing I do is like if I know my mom is going to be interested in something even a little bit, I'll show her the trailer just to so that she like knows that it's going to be out there. Like
Nice.
the Whitney Houston movie that's gonna drop in December. I showed her that
Yeah.
trailer. So we're definitely down for that. I showed her the Little Mermaid trailer.
Aw.
For 22. It's cool. It's cool to show mom's
Yeah.
trailers. I think it's very cool. It's interesting. But I told her that this is going to be the toughest thing I ever watched in the movie theater ever.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Right? Like because it took me I don't know how long to watch Black Panther after Chadwick, and
Yeah.
I was just like I can't do it under any circumstances, and I still have yet to watch his postmortem film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Oh,
Still haven't watched it yet.
you know what got me was that What If episode. I was like, they recorded it
Yeah,
before, and that was so cool to see him one more time as that character.
it was cool.
Yeah, man.
What a cool episode it was, dude.
Yeah, yeah, super funny, super like genuine. I mean,
Yeah,
he's yeah, so interesting. That I mean, I think that they didn't nail every single episode, but What If was is it has always been some of my favorite comics. To read, just
yeah,
to bust it open and to um, see where things could have gone, what could have changed, because it's that fun thing of like no stakes, so they can
hmm
go hog wild with it. They can just go crazy and like kill characters off. This doesn't matter in the main continuity, it's fine. But like
yeah.
this, we can see how extreme Marvel can be, in a completely different way. Yeah.
I thought it was
uh,
cool. What was
oh,
your favorite
yeah.
favorite episode from the season?
uh I think one of the most heartbreaking, and therefore like one that stood out to me, was the Doctor Strange one.
Mm-hmm.
That's I mean, I obviously love the I mean it, because it was the first one. I really liked the Captain America one,
Yeah.
you know. But also I don't know. Oh, that unreleased Iron Man and Gamora one. I loved that one.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did it. It's supposed to be the next season, right? Or
Yeah.
something, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think those two really stood out to me, and Chadwick's, but it was also, I don't know. There was something, it didn't it was more comedic than it was like um uh examining something different,
Yeah.
so I that one didn't. I would say a close third, but yeah, what about you?
My favorite, which I think surprises a lot of people, and I'm surprised that it surprises a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think what surprises me is that for some people they didn't like the episode too much, or it was one of their lesser episodes. And I was like, really? The Hank Pym assassination episode where he's killing all the Avengers.
Oh my god,
I love that episode.
I completely forgot that one. That's what I'm talking about. Those stakes where you can
Oh my
kill
gosh,
people
dude.
off, all the whole Avengers. That was a
It
really
was
good one too.
so I loved that episode. I
Yeah.
thought it was so cool. I thought the story was well done because I was serious. I was genuinely invested. I was like, who is doing this? And
Who would have the
all
power? Yeah.
right. And then
Yeah.
once they established Hawkeye, and then the bow fired, he was like, no, wait, I didn't do it. I was like, yo, that's
Yeah.
wild. That's so
Right.
crazy.
Is
And then
it
the way in
Ghost? Is
which
it like, yeah.
Hawkeye, oh my gosh, it was so crazy. Oh my gosh, I thought it was so well done. And
Yeah.
then the added element of Loki coming down to sort of
Yeah.
avenge Thor. Oh my gosh, I thought that was
Well,
awesome.
and that's the greatest thing, is for writers not just to do like and I know that there's a lot of controversy right now about one of the more recent What Ifs, where they just make Miles Morales into Thor, and Harlem is Asgard, and it's a little reductive. I like the
Yeah.
people who actually think about what the consequences would be. And if Thor is dead, of course Loki's coming after him, or after Earth, or
Yeah.
after Earth for that. Like I
hmm
think that that expanding into the domino effect
hmm
of one change is really freaking cool. Like, so yeah, I loved the mystery of that. That was really cool. Yeah, I
I thought it
agree.
was awesome. I thought it was awesome. Are you going to see Black Adam
Hmm. Uh, that's coming out soon, isn't it?
tomorrow?
Uh, Yes, it is. I have a busy weekend. Um, no, I literally do. I'm going to like two parties and a Yaddick event actually
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
on
You're
Sunday.
in San Francisco,
The
right?
biz of showbiz. Yes,
There it
we're
is.
actually going to I mean, I know this is a cross promotion, but we're going to record it as a podcast for the Young Actors Theater Camp podcast. So,
Boom, boom.
uh,
Shameless plug.
yeah, whatever. Check it out. Um, but yeah, I will. I am excited to see it post all of the, Justice League 7 hour movie, and and all of the things that have come since, which is really just, is it only the Suicide Squad that's come out since then?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, so much stuff has been like pushed back and extended. Yeah, I think that it's going to be a cool thing to see some of those lesser known characters, you know, to see what the DCEU is intending. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because that's, I don't know if they're breaking from or doing a multiverse type of thing
Yeah.
right now, which is hinted at it with the Flash thing. Also,
Hmm.
how crazy is Ezra Miller?
Dude, don't even get me
Apparently,
started.
yeah, I know, right? But
Yeah, man.
everybody's human, I guess. I'm not taking sides at all, not touching
No,
that
for
one.
sure. Yeah, of
But yeah, no, I like The Rock. He's charming as hell. It's been a
course.
while since we've gotten a movie of his, like 3 minutes. But yeah, no, he's in everything now. No,
Yeah.
I am interested. I honestly, how about you? Are you a fan in the comics of Black Adam?
I love the idea of Black Adam. I love the
Okay.
character. I
Yeah.
thought it's really cool. I played the Injustice game,
Oh
the
yeah.
Injustice 2 specifically, where he's a
Hmm.
little bit more prominent in that storyline. And I thought it was awesome the way they did him.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how they do it. Just because, I know Shazam is floating out there in the
Yeah.
DCEU. I know,
Right.
hopefully, depending on contract talks with Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
Superman is somewhere to be found,
We'll see.
hopefully, maybe.
Well,
Um,
The Rock was like putting it out. He was like, "You got to have him come back. I really want to
right.
fight him," or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, but I definitely am interested, and I definitely want to see it. I watched the Tonight Show a couple days back when The Rock was on, and they showed a little snippet of it, and I was like, ooh,
Sick.
yeah, sweet. I'm in. I'm on board. So
Well,
yeah, I think
out of literally every person in Hollywood, he looks like he could have superpowers. He's
this is true.
so strong.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. It is. It's, I mean, when he started getting, I mean, when he was doing crazy things in Fast and the Furious, I was like, no
Right.
human can do that, but I believe it because it's The Rock.
Exactly right. Exactly why they were able to get away with it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
he's pulling, like he's keeping a helicopter from flying away while also holding on to a tow truck. Yeah, this makes sense. It's The
He's
Rock.
jumping, he's surviving after a 14-story drop onto a car.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
can just
He
he
got
can
it.
just break out the cast and be completely. Yep. No, that makes sense.
Yep,
Yep.
sure.
And they seal it with such a perfect line. Woman, I am the cavalry. Yeah. You know what? You're absolutely right. You are the
You
cavalry.
are.
You are the cavalry.
You're
That's
my
absolutely right.
cavalry.
Yeah. So me and a group of friends are going to the movies tomorrow, but I think it's still undecided if
Nice,
we're going to
nice.
see Black Adam or Smile. I really hope they choose Black Adam because I don't do horror. Um, but I've heard good things about
It's fair.
Smile. My brothers
It's
told
fair.
me that it's a pretty good movie, but I'm just not sure. So we will. Time will tell.
I'm interested in Smile as well. It could go either way, couldn't it? It could just be a standard schlock bye bye man type of like, if someone smiles at you, you die. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
in a really cookie cutter way, or it could be a very haunting, spooky, fun time for the Halloween season. Um, yeah, my girlfriend Liz just asked me yesterday if I wanted to see it, and I think I'm interested. But as always, there's like 15 different movies that I want to see at any given time.
No,
Like
of
with
course.
across that and streaming. I still haven't seen Halloween
And
Ends.
not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
no. I've heard middling things.
Agreed. Same here. Same
Who
here.
knows?
I don't know.
Who
And
knows?
it's yeah, I don't know. As much as I love Michael Myers, I think he's my favorite slasher of all time, and he's the highest grossing slasher of all time.
Yeah.
I just learned that out. Just figured
Oh,
that out. Yeah, I didn't know that, but it kind of
he's
makes sense now that I
very.
think about it.
He in the movies would be very old. I
Yeah,
know that he has some sort of magical, or does he have magical powers in this continuity? I don't know. He's just evil, but
yeah,
he's an old evil. He's a
no, for
very
sure.
65-year-old man. I don't know.
1000%, 1000%. Right before we get out of here,
Yeah,
I do
man.
want to your first reaction when you learned that Hugh was back in the saddle as Wolverine.
I I don't know why I was, but I got a notification on my phone while I was in the grocery store. And I watched the whole thing on my earbud, and I was like, when he walked by, and I was like, oh, I legitimately like gasped. And I immediately texted all of my friend group from the guys that I've known since elementary school. I was like,
Yeah,
we've got to see this. 20, I don't care that it's what is it, not 3 years from now or something like.
2024.
Oh, it's only 2024. That's easy.
Yeah.
But no, I listen. I was afterwards conflicted. I was like,
Mm,
just as with a couple of people, I wasn't horribly conflicted, but just with a couple of people, Logan was an amazing swan song. It's
it was.
it's beautiful, but if you think about it, that was like 2029. So
Yeah.
in the continuity, I don't, I, continuities with X-Men is already insane. Like it doesn't make any sense if you look at the 7 or 8 movies, whatever is out. I don't care. Uh, I don't care. I
Yeah.
am absolutely happy that because it's they both share origin stories in the comic books, both being Canadian. For Deadpool specifically, even if they recast somebody else in all of the rest of the X-Men movies, Deadpool deserves to have him in it. It was
Yeah.
like if it hadn't been already like nodded to or like poked fun at, it feels like it was inevitable. Like the Hugh Jackman face at the end of the
Hmm.
first movie, and just the constant mentions of the awful Deadpool.
Yeah.
Just it made me so happy.
It was
I don't
great.
know. Yeah. What about
I
you? Were
loved
you
it.
were you
Oh
excited?
my gosh. I'm trying to remember where I was. I think I was somewhere where I couldn't be. Actually, you know what? I think I was in rehearsal. I think I was in
Okay.
rehearsal when it happened,
Yeah.
and I was like, I freaked out, and they were like, "Yo, what happened?" And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
nothing. Just the coolest thing ever." I just thought it was the coolest thing ever in the world. So yeah, I thought that
also,
was awesome.
also Ryan Reynolds, one of the most brilliant advertisement. Like if he went into marketing, I mean, he would change the game. I mean, I guess he already is in marketing. He owns like 3 different companies, and
Absolutely.
he I know that he's not a one man, like he's not creating all of this, but it seems like a lot of it comes from him, doesn't it? If
Oh, for
like
sure.
like he's just spitballing in his company meetings, and he's like, what if we did this? And they're like, that's insane. He's like, try it. It's my money. I don't care. Mint
Yeah.
Mobile. Let's put aviation gin in a Mint Mobile commercial. I
Yeah.
don't care. You know what I mean? Like
1000%.
brilliant.
One
So,
thousand percent. I
oh,
Ryan Reynolds. That what a man. What a man
ah,
Ryan Reynolds is. He's awesome, dude.
indeed.
Right now, I want to do something very very fun with you, just
Yes,
for really quick.
please.
I want you to think about your four. Since we've been, this is a superhero comic book nerd episode.
Of
Give me your
course.
four favorite, just comic book superhero movies ever. Like four, just four that like you would, go to
Yeah.
war for. Yeah,
um okay. Captain America Winter Soldier.
nice.
That's absolutely on top for me. Um Blade.
Oh,
Honestly, like,
great pick.
haven't seen it in a while, but nostalgia. You know what? No, I take it back. Blade 2,
Was also really
honestly,
good. Very
so
good.
good. Norman Reedus, Ron Perlman,
Yes,
I want to say, and like, and those freaking Ma and Guillermo del Toro, for God's, I mean, like,
absolutely.
he's such a he should do more. Um, uh, da, 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 da. Avengers: Infinity War,
Hmm.
I think, uh, even over Endgame. Honestly, like, if it was one big movie, I'd say that movie. But honestly, I like the stakes and the reality and like and all of the craziness of Avengers Endgame or Infinity War. And then X2,
Solid picks.
X-Men 2.
I loved every single one of your picks. I'll run it back for all the people real quick. Blade 2, Winter Soldier,
Mm-hmm.
Infinity War, and X2. Those are solid
I,
four.
I like sequels apparently.
I
Well
love
done
it.
sequels.
I think you're right on point. I love that. What a theme. Now I'm gonna you're not gonna like this. Are you
Oh,
ready?
please. Yes, go.
Of those four, one has to go forever. Can't watch it ever again. It's gone from your memory. It's
Oh,
like it's as if it never existed. So just break it down for me like this. Which ones like is a must stay, gotta keep, and then when it
hmm.
comes down to the final two, sort of like give me your like pros and cons for both and ultimately
Oh,
make your decision. Good luck, buddy.
oh. Listen, so you know, Blade 2 and X-Men 2, uh, I think are in the lower tier because the MCU is it's not the end all be all, obviously, but it's like I'm super excited about Mahershala Ali. Holy crap, he's going to absolutely kill it. Um, and of course, Hugh Jackman all the way through, freaking rock star as
Absolutely.
uh oh man, I so those are on the Fox, no, it's not even Fox, it's like Lionsgate. What was Blade was, I'm gonna say Blade, because Wesley
Ooh.
Snipes is mean. He's not a good person.
Fair, fair.
Listen, did
I
you
would,
hear about all the crazy stuff that happened in the third one?
yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Patton Oswalt and Ryan Reynolds have some stories. Uh,
yeah,
even
yeah.
though I don't know, maybe you know what, because of the crazy like end CGI fight. Yeah, I think Blade 2 cuts. Yeah,
All right. That's you know what? I think that
that's a
makes
tough.
sense.
That's a
That was
tough.
tough though.
Ooh, oof.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
man. I like that challenge.
No, for sure. I love me a good old one gotta go. It's great. I
Oof.
love it. I love it. I love it. Dude, thank you
Yeah,
so
man.
much for coming on the show, man. You don't even understand how awesome this
Thank you
was.
for
Such a
having
special
me.
episode,
Oh
dude.
my goodness.
Literally anytime. So I'll tell you all this, and I'll let you know this, so that you know where I'm going and where my mind is at.
Please.
November is upon us, or is
Mhm.
coming up very soon, which means also very soon Wakanda Forever will be, hitting the mainstream. So
Absolutely.
once I see it, once a considerable amount of my friends see it, we will be sitting down in the courtroom on an episode of The Verdict, having a Wakanda Forever roundtable, talking about the movie, reviewing the movie, and it will be spoiler filled because that's the only way to do it
How you do it.
correctly.
Absolutely.
I would like to extend an open invitation for you to be a part of that roundtable
That'd be
come
awesome.
time. But yeah, for sure, because I think it'd be awesome to definitely hear what you think, and I'm so ready for this movie already. But
Honestly.
yeah, so thank you so much for coming on.
Of
Definitely, you're
course,
welcome
man.
back anytime you want. But yeah, man, thank you so much. Let the people know what you got going on in your life. Let them know. This is like the hot ones part of the show. Let the people know
Yeah,
what you
no,
got going on.
absolutely. Yeah, you can follow me. I'm on most of the things at the AJ Hamilton. I have a couple of podcasts, podcasts that are like just listen to the thing. They're all listed there. Creating canon, cinema sesh, out of memory, peanut butter soup, and other advice is still going. That's me and Liz's podcast. So yeah, man. And the Young Actors Theater Camp pod. I guess I'll bump that again. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and play Cars 3, the video game, because I'm Jackson Storm in
Heck yeah, you are.
it.
Awesome,
Hopefully,
dude.
yeah, man. Thank you so much. This has been incredibly fun, and it's great to catch up with you, man. Can't wait
Dude,
for
it
the
was a
next one.
pleasure. Thank you so, so much for being here. That is it for us here at The Verdict. Thank you for coming into the courtroom. I appreciate you so much. Everybody else, y'all know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please, when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And so that way, when Wakanda Forever does come out and the roundtable episode of this show does get posted on YouTube, you can watch it as soon as it hits your airwaves. All right, that is it from the Superpower Man of the Hour. Thank y'all so much. Court is adjourned. This has been The Verdict. See you next time. We out it.